Captain's log, supplemental. Soon after the attack on the Hami mothership, which severely had been crippled by us, to where we were able to safely escort Princess Tial's ship to the nearest jump gate. We've made good use of the spare bionyte the Togolians have cheerfully donated to us for helping them in their bad situation. This was what we desperately needed to return to our timeline. It has taken several days just to get even close to a workable solution.
So, I had one of my technicians reverse engineer that device Ensign Jones created, so that we can see if there is a way to set it to where, or should I say, when we first left our timeline.
Yes, the Golian and Humvee technology is advanced but similar in many ways. From what I gather, she was not able to gain access to many of these parts needed to assemble this device. Maybe that was why she had a pilot help her with the things he could easily get.
The question is, which pilot did she use?
That is a very good question. Since she's no longer aboard Saratoga and this pilot had been linked to her, she would have waited to act only after he was no longer aboard as well. If she was the daughter of the accursed, then you will know what I am referring to, Captain.
Yes, Commander. I do believe we can assume that much. From the description Chief Tewksbury told us when he suspected the saboteur, he noticed she was with a pilot. This pilot was of the batch we received from Terra Santa Station, and he was a Navy pilot, not any of the Marines, so that will rule them out.
I've checked our mission logs to see which pilots are not currently on board at this time. Since we have not deployed all of our pilots on our drop to the surface, the ones that have did not come from the station. Aside from the launching for the attack to regain control of Verdi, all of those pilots are accounted for. Now, going back to the deployment of Marines to secretly be inserted on Vega 6, all but 2 were Marine pilots. The 2 Navy pilots on the mission were Lieutenant Jaeger Clark and Ensign Nelson.
I can vouch for Lieutenant Clark because of another matter he's engaged in. So now it comes down to Ensign Nelson. He was her co-conspirator.
Nelson, but not Clark. But why will...
Trust me on this one, Zoo. Clark joined up with us from planet Gibberish. He is clear on this. Besides, Nelson was picked up at Terra Santa Station along with Jones. Our guy is most definitely Nelson. If and when we return to our timeline, I want him captured and detained so that we can question him.
So noted, Captain.
Now, as for getting back to our timeline, what is our window of opportunity, Commander Hawkins?
Give me about 24 hours, sir, and my team will produce some workable results. I have total confidence in them and they won't let me down.
Understood, Commander. Well, if there's nothing else to add, this meeting is adjourned. Dismissed.
Kadeena!
Babe, you alright?
Oh, Yes, I am all right now, my love.
You looked as if you had some kind of meet of the minds or something for a minute.
You are correct in that assumption. I have not had a feeling like that in quite some time. I believe it had something to do with Kadeena and Lieutenant Clark.
Say, what? You mean they are going through what happened to us?
Yes, I am afraid so. Starcross has a variable effect on most of us females while we are in the second stage. With me, I had a growing obsession with you. I think with what happened to Kadeena is very different. I do believe she has made a grave mistake in judgment, though.
A grave mistake? In what?
She had sent him away from her on that dropship deployment to Vega 6. Now that we are in a different timeline, she could very well die. She is now in Stage 3.
What? Stage 3? You mean her eyes are red and glowing like you were?
Yes. I must warn the captain of her condition in private, and we must hope there is a way they can expedite efforts to return us to our timeline.
No fooling. Is she a danger to any of the crew?
As far as I can tell, no. I found out from Alicia, the ship we have rescued from Himmi attack was a capital ship carrying the Crown Princess, our future queen. In our history logs, there was a strange vessel that had rescued them. Saratoga was that unnamed vessel. They had no physical contact with them, fearing contamination. If humans came into contact with the Dagolians on board, there would have been a fatal situation at the time.
Ah, now I see where you're going with this. This is why Kadeena is in trouble, because Clark is separated from her through time. Not good.
Well, even though I enjoy your company here, you need to rest now, so I will be able to give you a clean bill of health and return you to duty.
Yes, dear. One other thing.
Yes, my love?
That so-called meeting, was there some kind of meaning to it at all?
Yes, there is. I now know that my sister and my niece are alive and well, but they have both lost their husbands.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Clark is still alive and well for now, and he may very well be the key to saving the Vega 6 Dagolians.
Kadeena! Tell the task force not to challenge that big Himmi mothership. It's full of those Dagolians that were captured. If you destroy the ship, you kill them all. The ship is under our control and is making attempts to return to Vega 6. I'm running interference for them.
Kadeena to Dr. Nellis. Come in.
This is Nellis. How can I help you?
I request a meeting with you and Captain Tremble immediately. It is urgent.
Understood.
Kadeena, are you going to be all right? You feeling any pain?
Yes, Captain. I am okay. And there is no pain. I just feel emptiness. I am well for the moment. Just so we return to our normal time, I will do as much as possible to get to where and when we need to be.
So, why are we having this meeting? I have several people down in engineering putting together a device to get us back home.
Kadeena just had a vision that will help us once we return to our timeline. She had a vision of Lieutenant Clark. He has given her a message of great importance.
Captain, he claims the mothership, the one we have encountered, is under his control. For some strange reason, we will reappear as we should have at Vega 3. At the precise time we will arrive, and he will attempt to call to warn any Confed ships not to fire upon the mothership, because that ship will be full of the Vega 6 Tagolians that were taken and had departed from this large Hemi base on Vega 3 and are now headed for Vega 6.
So you're saying the mothership has been taken over by Hunter Clark? How do we know for certain he will return at that precise time?
There is one person key to the success of our return to our timeline. She is here and is also here of the past. What I am saying, she was aboard TL's ship.
What? Wait a minute, how did you know it was Princess Tial's ship?
Because she told me.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. So this person that was aboard the Kameera and is here now aboard Saratoga, could it be Chief Mara?
Most likely. I am certain she was the one who told you how we could have taken on the spare bionyte from them without making physical contact.
The power of Starcross. Alright, Kadeena. We'll get her to work with Commander Hawkins' team on the device. We'll return you soon. Thank you for your input. It made things much clearer now, and we should never take the matter of Starcross lightly.
Thank you, Captain, for taking time out to listen.
Captain, I think Kadeena needs to rest up for now.
Understood. So tell me, Nellis, had you experienced the same effect when you went through this?
No, not at all. It differs from one person to another. I hope the two of them will be ready, and that we will not be too late.
I'm sure Hawkins' team and Chief Mara will come up with a workable solution. Speaking of, how's Vic doing?
He is a bit cranky, but he has improved quite a bit. I think he wants to get back to work soon as possible, but he will need to rest a bit longer.
I see. I'm so glad he's in good hands, Nellis. Keep me posted on both of them. I have to get back to work myself.
Yes, Captain.
So what you're saying, Chief, that this was some kind of warp bomb?
Yes, Captain. It appears to be some sort of bomb that was set to go off just as we were to make a jump.
But it didn't go off the first time when we had left Verdi. Why is that, Chief?
I do believe the most obvious reason was because the saboteur was still aboard Saratoga. Once she got clear of the ship, it may have been set soon after we were to make a second jump.
That makes sense, Chief. It was apparent she didn't want to sacrifice herself. Maybe it was because of this pilot that was on Vega 6.
Yes, I think that was her motive. There was some unknown attachment between the two she felt couldn't be left behind. The question is, why did it not destroy the ship after she left?
Captain, if my calculations are correct, I think the reason we wound up being here in this time instead of being destroyed is because she was unaware of our initial heading. Commander Zhu made the proper coordinates to jump into the atmosphere and jump to Vega 3 just as soon as we got the engines restarted in order to jump precisely.
I concur. That little oversight would be her undoing.
Any suggestions as to how we could duplicate these conditions and maybe we'll be able to return to our time?
My suggestion would be that we jump from Earth's atmosphere. since that may have been the monkey wrench that fouled up her plans. If she had overheard me as I briefed my people in engineering and had been run off by someone, or too many people running about prevented her from readjusting her settings.
Would there be a way to get as close to when we should be? And most importantly, can it be done without tearing up my ship?
Captain, with your permission, and with the help of Commander Zhu, I do believe we can get our return time down to where it may appear as if we have been gone for maybe a few hours without any possible damage, and our weapon systems will remain functional.
Excellent. Tremble to CIC. Commander Zhu, I need you here with us right away.
Aye, Captain. I am on my way.
Well, if there's nothing else, let's get this in motion.
And according to our calculations, we should make our jump heading from Earth's atmosphere to Mars. At that time the device will go off and should return us to where we should be.
Will there be any stresses to the ship?
There should not be anything that will put us in danger now that we know what is about to happen. I recommend everything should be secured before we make the jump, crew included.
Very good. Would there be any effect if we were to jump with shields at full power?
We have factored in use of the shields because this being so new to us, we will be uncertain of any possible contact of any vessel occupying that same space at that particular time.
How do we go about performing this without being detected?
The ship's armor was made from material that would allow it to absorb radar. I would advise free falling over one of Earth's oceans in order to reduce our chances of detection.
Excellent. Then let's get to it.